Al-Qaeda plotting new plane attacks in 2019, Security Minister warns Osama bin Laden, now dead, sits with his young son Hamza, date unknown. A resurgent Al-Qaeda is plotting spectacular new attacks on passenger jets and prized airport targets in 2019, according to a senior British minister. British Security Minister Ben Wallace said UK intelligence agencies believe Al-Qaeda has been steadily developing improved methods to beat airport security and get bombs on planes to create a blue ribbon. Speaking to the Sunday Times, the UK security chief referenced the foiled alleged Etihad bomb plot at Sydney Airport in 2017. He also highlighted how terrorists could in the future deploy deadly armed drones to bring down commercial planes. Mr. Wallace said the present Al-Qaeda threat was keeping top British ministers awake at night. Al-Qaeda are resurgent. They have reorganized. They are pushing more and more plots towards Europe and have become familiar with new methods and still aspire to aviation attacks, Mr. Wallace warned. The aviation threat is real. Aviation is still a blue-ribbon event for these terrorists. Following Osama bin Laden's meticulously planned 9/11 attack on New York's World Trade Center, aviation security has become increasingly harder for terrorists to penetrate. But Mr. Wallace said groups like Al-Qaeda and Islamic State will work to place nefarious terror moles inside airports. British anti-terror units had also discovered sketches of drones armed with bombs in recent raids, he said. Last week tens of thousands of passengers suffered long flight delays and cancellations after 2 drones were reportedly seen above Gatwick Airport, prompting an immediate suspension of all air traffic. Following the temporary shutdown of Britain's second busiest airport, increased military protection was brought in while flights resumed. Police are still searching for the culprits. Terrorists have explored other ways of getting bombs on planes, Mr. Wallace said. No. We've talked publicly about an insider threat issue. If you can't get in the front door, you're going to try to get in the back door, he said. In 2019, we should be alert to Al-Qaeda. They are re-energizing some previous links in support, and their ambition towards aviation is real. We saw in Australia that terrorists do what works, and they don't give up. Last year, in July, a group of men allegedly plotted to detonate bombs hidden in a Barbie doll and a meat grinder on an Etihad flight from Sydney to Abu Dhabi, in an attempt to kill 400 passengers and crew. The thwarted bombs were allegedly timed to explode 20 minutes after takeoff, detonating above the Blue Mountains, but the alleged bombs never made it on the Etihad jet after hand luggage containing the devices was found to be overweight at check-in and left at the counter. Brothers Khaled and Mahmoud Kayat will face trial in an NSW court next year. After being carefully groomed by senior Al-Qaeda leaders for years, Osama bin Laden's son, Hamza, is now primed to become the terror group's next figurehead. Intelligence experts believe the elevation of Hamza, believed to be in his late 20s, will signal a major awakening of the terror network which has been eclipsed consciousness by Islamic State. In recent years, Al-Qaeda sat quietly in the corner and tried to work out what the 21st century looked like, while ISIS became the latest terrorist boy band, but they have not gone away. Counter-terror analysts believe Al-Qaeda has amassed a global network of around 40,000 jihadist fighters. Earlier this year, a Kremlin official estimated Al-Qaeda's monthly revenues to between $26 million to $53 million.